Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. For those that are new, my name is Marriage is a covenant with God and with each other. And people these days find it very difficult to stay in marriage. So is it still relevant or not? Today we're going to be talking about, is marriage still relevant? One of the things I would say is it builds families together. These days family starts even when there's no marriage involved. God wants us to bring up godly families and godly children. That is why marriage is also relevant in order to bring out healthy families. In Genesis 1 verse 28, God says we should be fruitful and multiply. God knew that families are needed in order to get that support from one another. Sometimes marriage is needed for the sake of companionship. It becomes your friend and your partner. You're both walking in the same path together. When you're married to the right person, you get that emotional support when you need it, as opposed to when you're married to the wrong person, which you cannot get that emotional support on your own. Sometimes we feel like we can do without being married. Sometimes you may be doing so well in your job or your career, and you feel like you don't need a man to be there, because maybe most of the time you're so occupied with your job. But that is better when you're young. But as you grow older, you become lonely. And the next point why marriage is so relevant is because of the security that it comes with. I see marriage as a partnership as opposed to just living together, because when you are single and you're just living together, you break up, there's no strings attached unless there's a child involved. But when you're married, it's difficult to have the thought that you can separate anytime. Another thing, when you are single and living together, there are some things that you cannot do because there's nothing that's legally binding you. So that is why marriage can provide that sense of security and support, especially in terms of financial and emotional support. Sometimes marriage can lead you to your destiny, especially if you are married to the right partner. What I mean is, when you have a supportive partner, they may help you discover your purpose. This doesn't mean that when you're not married, you won't be able to discover your purpose. You can still discover your purpose. As opposed to when you're married to the wrong person, they can be a barrier in finding yourself and the things that you like doing. And on the other hand, when it comes to marriage, you also get the anti-marriage group that don't want to get married for their various reasons. One of the reasons they may not want to get married is because of fear of the unknown. Sometimes it's because they were brought up in families where there've been a divorce and in the home, and they think they just don't want to get married if marriage ends up in divorce. Some individuals may also be anxious about just the idea of being committed to one person. And they think, no, I don't want to get married. I don't want to be committed to one person for the rest of my life. I can't do it, so I won't get married. They just want to be free souls, and it's allowed. We cannot blame them. That's their decision. Some of these people is because they found relationships very difficult. Maybe they've had bad experiences from their past relationships or even marriage, and they don't want to go back to that route again. Some is because they've just given up in marriage. They find it very difficult to find the right partner, someone that they can settle down with. Or maybe they've just stayed too long being single and they feel there's no need on getting married. I can do everything on my own. Why should I bring someone into my life who's going to start changing things and rearranging the furniture? I like my space and how I'm living in my space without anyone around me and interfering on my space. So these are the ones that they've just given up, and they feel them very much comfortable on being on their own. They don't need to be married. Maybe some feel like they're just too old. It's difficult to find a partner out. Sometimes it could just be marital delay. These are just spiritual forces that won't allow you to get married. Even if you do get someone to marry you, for some reason, before you get married, that marriage will be cancelled. And you'll find that it's a pattern that keeps happening all the time. This is when you have to take it up to God and pray about it to break that marital delay, because maybe you're not even aware of it at times. Others will get to discourage you because they have failed in their marriage, and they will talk you out of it. So in conclusion, the desire to get married is an individual choice, whether you want to get married or whether you don't, whether you feel it's relevant or it's not. Even when the world has made it look like it's no longer relevant, it's up to you whether you want to get married or not, because you're the creator of your own decisions. You can make a decision if it's relevant or not. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. God bless you.